fans are crazy though, by the way. I can barely hear you guys.
Moskov. I mean, it makes sense, right? RRQ, they have global presence. With the Moskov, it also gives them a layer of that, not to the degree of the chip for sure.
Well, this also means that RRQ are going to be a lot more aggressive because technically the Bruno has a stronger time in the lane, faster power spikes as well, by the way, in the itemization path. So uncharacteristically, RRQ might be the one dictating the pace here. I think it all relies on whether or not they can use that chip reliably. I don't think we've seen a lot of chip gameplay coming in from RRQ.
No, not at all. We were expecting the chip to be banned out towards RBL, but it's picked up now by RRQ. But seriously, the chip, we've seen so many different ways to play the chip. Now with the flicker, yesterday, Rossi made it work with a Revitalize.
They lost, did they not?
On the chip, they won. They forced game 3 out of Onyx with the chip. It was Revitalize and Photo.
Wow, all right. I mean, we'll see exactly what shade of chip we will be seeing today. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Land of Dawn for the first game of this best of 3 series. The Kings of Kings looking to stay in their playoff run, but so does Rebellion. The stakes are high. The atmosphere is feeling it. The audience are feeling it. So let's just get straight into the game.
Right off the bat, that's going to be a concussive blast for Irad. He's trying to match the farming speed of the Baxia for sure. Trying to make sure he keeps up in levels. That means he'll have less survivability in the midst of a big fight. Look at the rest of the emblems here. D. The Master Assassin as well as the firmness. He wants to be tankier. He needs to be in the midst of these fights. Skylar though with the weapon mastery, so he's completely expecting to go all the way to the late game. And then that small fight, you can see that he is very comfortable on that pick. Clay with the Quantum Charge though, you have to remember, gives him a lot more sustain, also maneuverability. Look at that gank from Vincent.
Some good damage on Skylar. Another big shield thrown in at him as well. Forced to use the regen, but still has that flicker. Doesn't use it.
Needed to help Skylar. Needed to help the Moskov, against Skylar earlier on. As it looked like the Moskov was being a little bit pressured in the lane by the Bruno for the first minute. You can see the rotations as well coming through. What can we expect? As soon as Brusco gets level 4, will we be expecting ganks on the side lanes?
I think there will be ganks for sure, but where the ganks happen, that's the question. Whoa!
Here's where the ganks will start. Clay with a poke as well. Irad, good initiation to start things off, and Vincent will be low. Forced to recall first. Obviously has a shield unity, so he will be able to make it back, but RRQ are already fast with it. Instantly trying to utilize his advantage. AudiTZ still level 3. Brusco about to be level 4. They can force an issue, force a big fight here, and coming in Vincent. Shield unity connects onto Dawn. Not the target you would want to go for right now. Oh, what? Vincent just walks in and finds the red tree. And now it's getting a shortcut, bringing Bruno back. But now it's Audi actually who finds a knockup, just one. And it is a trade 1-for-1. Irad will be able to take the purple buff, but with the turtle taken, who's it worth for?
I think overall it has to be worth it for Rebellion. Even if they do lose the purple buff for it,
they don't.
They don't even lose it. Even if they did, it's not an assassin that requires that purple buff desperately. So already Rebellion showing that in the jungle department, Vincent does have a bit of an edge. Later on, we'll have to see how this plays out. If you take a look at the talent predictions right here, you can see Eterna and Papulo, the only ones voting for Rebellion.
And Miracle.
Technically Miracle.
I like the underdog story. We'll see if it plays out. I like the audacity that AudiTZ shows on the screen. It shows personality.
The audacity?
The audacity, ooh. But back into the game. It's always known that Vincent has been so reliable on the retributions. I'm actually curious to see his stats, like the percentage stats for him on the retribution, because he is that reliable source as a jungler. And I'm wondering, if not for Vincent, would that have been a better trade for RRQ?
I think it would have been, considering that if they got actually the shielding, they might have saved the, I believe Dawn there would have survived in that fight, and maybe they can turn it around even more. But the fact that Rebellion got a bit of a shield in the midst of that fight, definitely a big problem. But for now, Vincent and Ira just competing in the clear and looking for extra bits of gold. And we saw that in the previous match for RRQ, Dawn was a big deciding factor when he can get going. But against Azizi right now, he is looking like he's not really as aggressive as he usually would want to be.
Okay, now both of these teams are going to be centering around the next neutral objective. Vincent level 7, but wait a minute, Brusco.
Caught in the bad spot, but AudiTZ will be engaged on Minus Fury. Not with Flicker this time. Spear of Destruction, the teleport comes in and it's a full 5v5 brawl. Vincent and Vincent all finding Brusco to Netherrealm, helping the other members in the back, but Vincent now will be targeted down with the Appraisers. Rat and Skylar picks up a big kill on Vincent. 1-for-1, roam for jungle. RRQ will utilize that advantage, straight to the turtle they go. But D is quick with his wits, instantly looking for a trade in the bottom lane.
Seems like it's going to be a bit too dangerous for D to just go immediately for the turret, so that'll be a turtle secured for RRQ, showing their team fighting prowess yet again. That is what Rebellion needs to be a bit more careful about, because they've been great at outmaneuvering and outsmarting their opponents, but RRQ, when the fight gets messy like that, you know that they have something up their sleeves. And look at the damage, very, very early on from Skylar.
Full stacks, 10. Cars getting some healing. Popping the Vengeance as well, trying to survive. But Rad now will try to layer it down on him. Appraiser's Rat missing, but still finding a good stab down as Brusco collapses on him. And RRQ strike with a turret take and 2 kills on the board.
Big advantage now secured by the Kings of Kings in minute number 5. With the fact that they've been outplaying Rebellion in these team fights, in these little skirmishes, and it's causing Rebellion to start to sink. And if they go for a snowball, Rebellion, they will have to rely on their wits in order to return back once the snowball starts.
They have to wait for a big moment where RRQ make a mistake. That's a problem, especially against Skylar. The man very rarely fumbles in the middle of a game. And to make things worse, technically, both teams are playing a bit of a front-to-back composition. No one can really dive in that deeply towards Skylar. So as of right now, he's just farming up a storm. He's a level below from D, who hasn't been participating in a lot of these fights. But still, for the most part, he's left to his own devices. And that's usually not the approach you want to use against Skylar.
So how do they go about these team fights? Who's supposed to knock Skylar down? Is it supposed to be Cars?
I think it has to be a bit of a team effort. Cars can zone, but he might just get knocked up and crowd controlled by the rest of the team. That's the problem right here. D will have to try and maybe outmatch him when it comes to damage output. He does have the Inspire that can be used to find that burst of damage for a golden opportunity. But that's a big if.
Ooh, and that's super risky as well, but here it is.
Shortcut down, Vincent all alone will be taken out by RRQ. CC up top, trying to go for a trade in the bottom lane, doing the same thing, D and Audi. It'll be 2 turrets for the turtle, but now RRQ collapsed once again on Sway low. Pops in the Netherrealm just in time, a few more shots, and there you go. Say goodbye to the Netherrealm, say goodbye to his life. A tier 1 in the mid lane also for RRQ.
They're playing it so quick. RRQ, they want to end this as soon as possible. With Irad being able to zone out the members of Rebellion, it's looking like Rebellion has not found the opportunity whatsoever to look for their own play. All they've done is play to the rhythm of RRQ, and it makes it a lot worse that they have the global presence that Brusco offers with the chip.
Exactly. How are they supposed to dictate where and when the fight happens when at a moment's notice, the whole team from RRQ can show up out of nowhere? They're doing a great job actually equalizing in the turret department, but losing that mid turret means that the majority of the jungle is now exposed to RRQ. And with Irad on the Fredrin, you already know that he is going to be active as heck in that jungle. And you can see, already just waiting for the next prey to walk up.
Free turret again for Skylar. Tier 2, this time in the bottom lane. And D, how far is he from that power spike? What are RBL waiting for?
He has the Corkin Sight and the Golden Staff. Demon Hunter Sword should follow next, so one more item before he can really be that big of a menace. But can he even farm up a Storm right here? He's only left to farm the lane minions. The Cars gets found.
That's a stun down and the shortcut placed down as well. Not a follow-up from Irad. Vengeance from Cars, but he will be the next victim of that shortcut pickoff.
A little bit too hasty, perhaps, from Cars there. caught in a no man's land. Absolutely no other team members to back him up as Skylar picks up the Malefic Roar.
It's a massive power spike, and he's walking in the front. Not concerned. There's no assassins, no flankers. But look at the bottom side, though. It's a 1v1.
Spear of Misery to cancel out the first part of the Bravest Fighter. Now he's in. That's a flicker from Don. And now, Brusco! That might have just been a costly mistake, but it's still going to be D. Taken down by Don. Shortcut in the bottom lane will mean that Irad, massive Appraiser's Brad as another realm will be stolen away by Clay to give Irad a second chance at life. Brusco. Shortcut not available. RBL have lost their gold lane, and so they will lose their Lord as well. RRQ pick it up.
Crazy tempo from RRQ. Ganking here and there. It looked like they overcommitted to the other side of the map, but with the shortcut, you can make your way back. And just like that, Bruce comes back with the man advantage. They take the Lord away. The global presence that D should have is just non-existent, completely cancelled right now.
It's too much. RRQ are everywhere and nowhere. Our Rebellion, they want to go in for an engage and they can't find the opportunity to do so. Are they too far behind at this point to look for a comeback?
I think it's still definitely possible. Their late game isn't actually that bad if they do have some more items. But for now, they have to try and wait to recover. And even if they want to risk a fight, they have to understand that Clay has the Necklace of Durance. They won't have the same kind of durability that they might be used to.
Conceal already used up. They're looking to go for the siege right now. And they will be able to do it. Skylar doing a whole lot of damage on the Bruno. First base turret down. D walking up with Skylar.
Wow, what?
Get absolutely deleted! Skylar's feeling it 2 levels ahead on the Bruno.
And this is D on his signature pick, Moskov. 2 hits, insta-delete the damage. What is going on? This is a disaster for the Blue Bulls.
10 seconds for D. Cars stunned up, terrified by Clay, who's stolen the Netherrealm away also. Now it's a chance to go and defend, but RRQ stay disciplined, stay cold and composed. They back away. They do not want to take any risky fights. They do not want to take any unnecessary risks.
They know what is at stake, and they are absolutely disciplined right now. Even though at an 8K gold lead, you would love to see the crazy RRQ plays, but they know that they have to keep it calm and calculated. They're not underestimating Rebellion at all. Not letting a single moment go to waste right here. But look at the way Skylar is playing, man. He's walking up solo, unafraid. There's no real risk being directed in his direction.
Absolutely. What is this new version of RRQ that we're seeing with this lineup? Did not expect this performance coming out for them. There's discipline, there's aggression. Their shot call seems to be very clear and precise. What in the world are Rebellion supposed to do? Like, actually, what is the goal? What's the game plan for them at this point?
Go for a messy fight, trade Skylar's life for a Netherrealm play.
But how?
Exactly.
What?
The fight isn't as difficult as actually making sure that RRQ are willing to engage. Look at their composition, man. Every single person on their team has a dash, can get away from an engage, which, by the way, is probably only a Flicker Minion Fury or a Shield Unity. And if you use that for the main engage, RRQ will have a very easy time just wiping the floor in the team fight afterwards. Rebellion just stuck between a rock and a hard place. RRQ, they're going for it.
Shortcut not yet placed down by Brusco. Doesn't want to go for the full commitment just yet. Vincent has already used the Poissons. On the other hand, and RRQ are already 5 men up on the Lord. Still Conceal now, used up. Brusco. There, the Spear of Vengeance not going to be able to hit right there. Skylar gets tied up in the back as well. And then the Audi steals the Lord away, but they are going to lose out on the fight as the Appraiser's back connects onto the back, and now Suelo is running for the hills with Audi TZ as well. Audi ran down and shot down by Skylar. That's Skylar on a mega kill, and D looking for more on the board. Brusco with the flicker forward, but now gets stunned up by the Spear of Misery. Meanwhile, Suelo looking for an angle to escape all the way, but still is getting chased down by Don. D.
Can he escape?
Miraculous defense is what he needs to do. He gets a 3-man Spear of Misery. Beautifully done by D, and that might have just saved the game.
Oh, he's still running though. Suelo is still running for the hills. It's only a matter of time there. He gets taken down too.
Good Spear of Misery. Another one. to lock them down, to stop this from being an end. The ult's connecting, the TP ready, but they don't go for it. D, Wind of Nature, Power Spike for him. Spear of Misery. Oh my god, that damage! He's already forced to use the Wind of Nature as he bought it. Two-man stun by Don, Irad with a taunt as well. RBL have the resource advantage going back and forth in the base, and RBL will defend. The Rebellion will continue, but the Kings are on him.
Round of applause though for the Blue Bulls there. Being able to defend that one on the back of D's plays. That looked like it was supposed to end there then at that point. But he was able to prolong the series and buy some time for all the rest of the members to come back up into the game.
Let's look at the replay for that fight though. It's a very messy fight the way that Rebellion wants it. But even then, Skylar doesn't even get taken down below half HP with all the sustain he has built in and the damage. They traded the Lord for a massive punish, but all things considered, I feel like that's still value for them. With that Lord saving the game, and with the Lord not being able to be used by RRQ to go for a decisive end. The gold lead has shrunk a bit. Now it's at 7K. It's still far from an equal game for Rebellion, but now it seems like they have a better chance to really look for something.
It was a big moment for Rebellion that Audi was able to get that Lord, or that would have been a very different story, but it looks like RRQ want to go in for the siege.
Oh, Cars is very low.
Wow.
They are able to defend, but now another wave threatens that turret. Skylar will take it away. D going in, looking for some damage with the steps, but they will have to concede their final base turret. RRQ with a massive advantage, but also, I think in that team fight, right, the Lord? It was fortunate that D didn't land his Spear of Destruction. Because if he was in that team fight, he would have joined with the other four and died in the team fight, right?
Right, and even in this fight, I mean, he can maybe swing the balance a bit with his damage output. It does land on multiple people, but that's a big what if, and now it's back to the Lord dance. And Dawn, he has the Queen's Wings on top of the Blade Armor. He's itemizing specifically to ensure that D can't spiral out of control in the middle of these fights. That seems to be his main objective, his main job.
He's already posturing for it as well. He should know that D would be forced to clear that top side Brusco.
Trying to force the team fight, trying to zone them away. Lord taken down, but now the Spear connects in the back. Skylar tied up, and now they're gonna go all in for the collapse on the Skylar. Pops it over to Nature. He's very, very low. He's running with 1 HP, but now he buys the immortality just in time. Meanwhile, D jumping out against Dawn, and he is gonna be going in again as a Spear of Misery connect, but now it's gonna be D who just barely gets out in time. Clay goes for the splash. Audi TZ taunted and locked down Skylar. My goodness, what does it take to kill this man? He's still alive. He is still fighting, and now it's Vincent who's isolated. RRQ have played it phenomenally.
3 members left standing for Rebellion. He was on a single sliver of health, Skylar. Immediately regen back up, and he's going in for another kill.
Deal with some damage, but Skylar with more! The Crown Prince of RRQ. You ban out his hyper carries, he makes another hero a hyper carry, and they secure game 1.
Skylar, Skylar, Skylar. What is this man made of?
How? How was he able to survive in that situation? RRQ with new picks, new strategies, new rotations, completely catch Rebellion off guard. This was not what they were expecting to happen.
Amazing. The Kings of
16 and 2.
Kings. What?